Hi, Shaman Weaver Sheila Baker here, and just making a little adjustment and fine-tuning things. And maybe this is a great way to start this discussion. Yesterday on Sunset, where we came together to look at setting our goals, we used the the King of Wands. And let me just grab this for you. So hold on a sec. All right. So we use the King of Wands. And the thing about the King of Wands is lizards wake up your dreams. The thing about this particular king is he's fixated on his wand, which means that he's not about to let go of it. He's determined. He is fierce. He's a really, really beautiful ally for you to use. So that was the influence from yesterday. Today, I don't know how many of you have found this, but the Page of Cups, things bubbling up from the unconscious to be healed, to be discovered. And it's not like it's going to pardon me, it's not like it's going to stay in the cup, and so it's going to jump out. And in that jumping out, I talked about yesterday that sometimes there's parts of you that really it's okay if you don't carry them along any further. So I'm going to tell you a little story about about what I discovered. Well, I discovered that I had been putting myself through a lot of torture for almost 2 years because I had an unwillingness to look at the details and to find out exactly the bottom line about something. So finally, after what I'm talking about today is things bubbling up from the unconscious to consciousness, to be healed, to be looked at. And when you do this, this fish isn't got any life left in him. Once you take a fish out of water, it's not really very long before they succumb. And so the thing is that this old thing, this old emotional thing, just a second, I have to cough again. So frogs in there. Okay. So when that happens to me, I know that there's something bubbling up that needs to be released. So we're going to use this. This is still today. We have things bubbling up from the unconscious into consciousness for us to heal. I started to tell the story that there was a detail that I completely refused to look at, to get out. It was in paperwork, and you know how sometimes paperwork, we're a little afraid of the paperwork. So I didn't look at it. And for 2 years, this thing has been bubbling up in my unconsciousness. It had to do with safety, security, stability. And if I had stopped myself, dealt with the fear of knowing what the bottom line is, what the real story is, I wouldn't have tortured myself and the people around me continually hearing this sad story that has no validity. So, hi Val, Cindy, nice to see you. Very cool. Anita, I saw you, and there were a couple of other people. So, what I'm imparting with you today in the Made It Through Monday is, first of all, Monday is Moon's Day. They just took all those extra letters out of there and made it Monday. So today we are meant to be in that emotional lability, mutable, looking at things from the unconscious. That's why it's Moody Monday. Hey, Hudson. That's why on Mondays we're like, oh no, Monday. It's a setup. Okay? It's a setup for us to put ourselves through anguish over someone else telling us that a particular day has any difference than another particular day. So let's look at what's true. Sunday is Sun's Day. We devote that to worshiping the sun, to worshiping something, in the olden days when we actually took that day to do that, to honor ourselves, to rest and recuperate. So now we don't do that. We don't set our goals for the week, then look forward to achieving things. We arrive at Monday, most of us, with some fear and trepidation, some annoyance that we even have to do this, and some angst that starts for you 9 to 5 workabee people. It starts about, well, if you're lucky, it doesn't start until 3 in the afternoon on Sunday. And we start building up this angst about moving into the next day. All that stuff about, I don't want to do this, I don't want to be here, my life investment is not this, comes and we feel emotional about it. So my invitation to you is to look at what lifestyle you're buying into. Is it something that really truly serves you? And if it is, then awesome. And when you're doing this, you can look at, what unconsciously have I taken on? You know, I'm pretty sure that my parents expected me to get married, have kids, raise those kids with the man I married, and be a grandma and do all of that. Well, that isn't where my life is. Where my life is I created Shaman Weaver. I created my life. 22 years ago, I went, this isn't good enough. And if you know me, you'll know that I'm always going, is this all there is? Is this all there is? So I'm continually on a quest. And how that's going to play in, and what I'm going to talk about, is that tomorrow, Tuesday, this was the card. We are on a quest for a new way of thinking about things. So, hey Sherry, hi Courtney, nice to see you. So we're looking for a new way of thinking about things. The new way that I'm going to adopt is that I'm not going to wait 2 years to look at the fine print and throw myself around in torment and torture and affect everybody around me because of my unwillingness to deal with the fact that with the facts. So unwilling to deal with the facts. That's part of walking in both worlds, you know. You walk in the physical world and you maintain everything that you need to do in the physical world. Then you move over into the spiritual world and you get fulfilled over here. You get a bigger vision. The however is that it's a really good idea to blend the two. And I can't say that I've always been good at that. You know, obviously, if I'm tossing myself about wildly on account of I didn't read what it said 2 years ago, and I've been creating this chaos for myself that never needed created. So I'm going to give you the flip side of that. The flip side of that is coming to a place of acceptance that everything could go and I'd be okay. That is huge. Is it worth all the torment? Well, apparently, because otherwise I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have carted some people along with me in the process. Hey, Sherry, nice to see you. And I'm also always about what's the learning in this, and first of all, will I learn it? And absolutely. And second of all, how can I apply this to the rest of my life? Where, if in this one area that was all about my stabilities, my security, my safety, I was unwilling to look, where else in my life haven't I shone the light on that? And how can I use this learning of, oh my God, I don't want to look at that, don't be showing me that, which got me to a place where I don't watch the news. I haven't watched the news since 1997. Lots of stuff has gone on. Lots of people call me, let me know. But for me to take that into my consciousness is not something I'm willing to do. So I talked a little bit about this earlier. There's a difference between can't and won't. And won't is, I won't is I will not. And it's way more empowering for you to say I will not than I won't. Won't is kind of dismissive, and I'm not going to give that. Nope, not doing that. But when you say I will not, and the other thing is that there's a difference between I cannot and I will not. So there's a difference between I can and I will. So when you can, you put your will behind you to do the thing. Hey, Paul, nice to see you. So tonight I'm talking about two things. I'm talking about the influence of the cards that I did yesterday when we got together and we set our goals for the week. The influence of that card is things bubbling up from the unconscious into consciousness. Today is Monday. It's really Moon Day, but they have changed all of they haven't changed the names of the days. They've just changed the idea that we don't understand what the influence is. Sunday is a day to worship the sun and to revitalize, rejuvenate ourselves, but most of us don't do that. It's just another day in the cog of the wheel of the year. So tonight, today, this time is autumn equinox. It's called Mabon, M-A-B-O-N. So Google it. It comes from the Celts, and they honored the turning of the wheel. So I'm all about using the influence of nature to expand our lives. Tonight, today, we have the ability to bring things into balance. So I got out this old paperwork from 2 years ago. I looked at it and I went, oh, I've been torturing myself for 2 years because I wouldn't look at that. So the balance is, where are you out of alignment? Where are you out of integrity? And how do you bring that back into balance? You know, we all want this whole crazy world to change, right? Well, if I'm unwilling to look at the details and get into being way more comfortable knowing the details, and I put it off for 2 years, then I'm imagining a whole bunch of you guys are doing the same. So tonight we're talking about having looked at, for Sunday, looked at the influence of the King of Wands, who's fixated on his wand, has a lizard who wakes up your dreams. So that was just yesterday. So what are your hopes, dreams, and aspirations? And as you begin to think about setting your goals for the week, draw your hopes, dreams, and aspirations in there. If you haven't got it figured out, then sit down and write what you don't want. An even better thing to do, a bigger thing to do, is to write down what is unacceptable from this day forward. What is unacceptable? You don't want to wake up tomorrow doing the same old thing. Well, you know what's unacceptable for me is it's unacceptable that I don't look at the dang paperwork. Don't go, oh, I have a little relief in here, but I put myself through all kinds of, I say, I believe we're here to live in bliss, and anything else is bullshit. So here I am flapping around in the bullshit for 2 years. Well, you know what? It bubbled up emotionally to get healed, and so it is. So this unconsciousness, not being willing to be conscious about things going on in the world, and honestly, I set myself up as a leader, a teacher, a healer. And if I'm doing this, then I can imagine that everyone else is also getting a good dose. So look at that. Look at where are you out of integrity. If you are not waking up every day excited about the potential of the day, you're out of alignment. You're out of alignment with your soul. You're out of alignment for sure with your heart. So tonight, after you're finished watching me, sit down and write down, what do I want? And this quest, because really that's what this quest is. Hey, Kelly, nice to see you. Rick, lovely that you joined me. Catherine, nice to meet you. So this quest, this is tomorrow. Tonight we're doing this unconscious stuff. So bubble it up, see where you're out of compliance out of compliance with yourself, and then write those things down and say this is unacceptable. And often when we call ourselves out to a higher way of being, spirit shows up to support this. So tomorrow, Tuesday, we're on a quest for a new way of thinking about things. So we're not going to use this as a wand to beat on ourselves up. We're going to go, oh, all right, this is bubbling up from my deep unconscious. What is it that you are going to achieve? I talked, I think it was yesterday on Sunset where we set our goals. I talked about we have about 104 days left. So what did you start out this year wanting to do? How far have you come? And this is a beautiful time. Like I said, this is mobbing. Go and look up the old story about this and out of the Celtic tradition. So where have you got to? And where are you going? And this is really the quest for us right now, is where am I going towards the end of this year? And you can look around out there. There's lots of unacceptable behavior. And as long as we accept it and we don't stand for our beliefs and we don't stand for what we stand for, I just did a 5-day visibility challenge. And out of that came a webinar. And the webinar, I'm going to do it again on Thursday. It's called The Power of Inner Visioning. And the way that I have developed this is I use the shamanic journey to access non-ordinary reality. And in non-ordinary reality, anything is possible because our physical laws don't work there. A bear can be as big as my house or as tiny as this pen. I can do extraordinary things there. I can fly. I have a dragon I fly around on. So far, I haven't found a dragon here in this ordinary reality, but I bring the experience, the feeling, that freedom of, think about it for a second. Riding on a dragon. It's exhilarating. So no matter what is going on in ordinary reality, I can infuse myself with that feeling of, oh my God, this is amazing. I can carry that feeling into my everyday life and find a beautiful way of expressing it here. Part of my expression is to get here and share this with you. So, Kelly says, love the solid sound of your determined voice, dearest Sheila. Yes, well, Kelly, you've known me for a long time. How long has it taken for me to get here? And you know what? Here's the thing. It takes as long as it takes. That's all there is to that. There's no like, oh my God, I should have done that, 12 years ago or any of that stuff. You're just where you are. And honestly, if I hadn't have tormented myself for the last couple of years, perhaps I wouldn't have such determination. But, that's a whole story that we don't know how that's going to play out, except for the fact that now I have more information. When you know better, you do better. So now you're armed with information. Tonight, sit down, look at what is unconsciously bubbling up. Where are you in balance and where are you out of balance? You have the ability to shift that. You can say, this is unacceptable. You can tell yourself that. March yourself into your bathroom, look in the mirror and go, this is unacceptable. That person in the mirror will be really happy to hear that because they've probably been waiting for you to say this for a dang long time. So move into tomorrow with this card, the quest for a new way of thinking, because ideas become thoughts. Thoughts and ideas become reality in the practical world. So look at this quest for some new ways of thinking. And most of all, honor and love yourself, because you are just, Kali. So I believe that I'm protected on all sides. And I have Aphrodite in the front because I love to beam out love. The heart radiates out 360 degrees, and I'm love. And love isn't always factual. Love isn't always, apparently, love doesn't always read the details. Kali has my back and has had my back since I was, well, who knows how long time. Okay, Ganesha on one side and Buddha on the other. I am very, very well connected, and now new ideas about how to utilize that. So this has made it through Monday. And the last card, I have to excuse me for a moment here. The last card and Wednesday's card before you come to me on Wednesday night. So Spirit gave me a talking to and said, you need to give people permission to pay you, because I've been giving away, doing this tarot for over 3 years now. And I give you permission to pay me. So on Wednesday night, we come together, and if you want a card, all you need to do is say yes. I will tell you again on Wednesday. But on Wednesday, I will pull you a personal card if you want. Your agreement with me is that you will click on to PayPal and pay me. And you can pay me from 10 to infinity. The card that has the influence until you get your card on Wednesday night is this: a meeting of two emotional equals. Well, how does that happen? It happens because this bubbles up from the unconsciousness. You use this new idea about who you are and how you are in the world, and you meet yourself internally. This is, the body has a feminine side and a masculine side. When we bring these two together and raise them up together, they are an emotional equal. You want that to be happening internally. So on Wednesday, bring together your both sides. You do a hemi-sync. And hook yourself up so that you're coming from the fierce feminine and the courageous masculine into the world to show up as who you're meant to be. We're not all walking our talk. We're not all, my talk got totally sideways because I was unwilling to look at the details. That's never going to happen again. And, the fierce determination that you're hearing right now is what's going to propel me into the next level. I'm inviting you all to do the power of envisioning with me. I'm going to be live. It's going to be lots of fun. There's going to be a way that you can document this for yourself. You're going to have an experience of connecting with your own spirit guides and power animals. So join me there. Miss Anita put the link there, and I will ask also that we put it up in the comments above. So thank you for joining me, and read the dang details. And when you're doing it, you can remember that, Sheila told me to read the details. There's a card in the tarot that talks about this. That card is the 7 of Swords. And what you see is someone sneaking away with all but 2 swords. That sneaking away is us being well, I'll personalize it. It's me being sneaky with myself and not paying attention so that I had that freedom to move forward. Well, I have the freedom to move now, and I'm going to do it. So bliss everybody, and I just appreciate you for showing up. Show up on Wednesday. I might pop on tomorrow. I'm kind of loving doing a little connecting and Facebook Live with you all. So bliss, share me with your friends and relatives, and I'll see you in a couple days if I don't see you tomorrow. And should you want a tarot reading, message me or go on the website. Oh, and before you do that, go on the website and get the chakra meditation. It's a beautiful day to do that. It's free. You just download it, click, put your email address in, boom, download it, and use it tonight. It cleanses, harmonizes, and balances your chakra. So you're a clear channel to do this, bringing everything into balance. So bliss everyone. Good night. Mwah.